My dad asked me to speak many years ago. He inspired me, along with the youth group, they inspired me to sponsor a child. So when he first asked me to speak to the congregation, I have to admit I was a bit nervous, just as I was when I was in 8th grade up here. But the more I thought about it, I realized what a great opportunity it was. As I began thinking about what I wanted to say, I also realized how much I did have to say about the impact my dad and the Faith Lutheran Youth Group have had on my life. A few months ago, I remember sitting in the congregation listening to the youth group talk about the 30-hour famine. I was so touched and moved at the hope, passion, and power that these teens had to offer. At that age, every experience seems to be such a challenge because so many new experiences are being developed. Graduations, leaving home for the first time, making new friends, developing relationships, then ultimately getting a job, buying new clothes for that job, paying for bills, buying groceries for the first time. The list goes on. What is amazing to me is that these teens are facing these typical challenges of youth, but they're also stepping beyond their duty and making a difference. I am finding that as I journey through life, in some respect things do get easier. As we settle into our lives, it's easy to get comfortable. It's easy to talk to the same people about the same things. It's easy to shop at the same stores and visit the same places and to become comfortable. We all like security. We all enjoy good conversation with friends, as well as a nice vacation to a familiar spot. But we sometimes forget to challenge ourselves because we settle in with the familiar. As we get older, we must seek out new challenges. In doing so, we will be making a difference, and in return, our lives will be more fulfilling. My dad once explained life to me like a simple circle. And he explained that if a circle is our life path, then we have a choice on how big that circle can be. He said that in his lifetime, he wants the circle to be as big and full as possible. Life in a smaller circle is often spent repeating the same mistakes, staying in our comfort zone, associating with the same people with similar backgrounds, blaming society and others, and thinking of excuses not to make a difference. However, life in a larger circle is spent trying new things, meeting new people, learning from mistakes, taking responsibility for our lives, never stop loving and working hard, but keep on giving. This was a valuable analogy for me about life that I have used to help me grow as an individual. Some of you know I recently moved back from Cincinnati to California. I returned because I miss my family and familiar things, like the mountains, ocean. I miss the human relationships that are most important to me. Yes, and I did want comfort. But the reality of moving back to California set in when I was paying more in rent than I was in mortgage back in Cincinnati. But one thing that keeps me grounded is this. On rainy days, as I sit in my tiny apartment, I listen to the rain and I think of my sponsored child and wonder if he is dry when it rains. As my heat turns on, I wonder if he has to fight the cold or if he has a heater to turn on also. Through World Vision, I know that Tenzing Chopin, my sponsored child, his basic needs are met, as well as millions of others. Unfortunately, there are many children and families out there who still need our help. When I think about these things, I'm reminded that things in my life aren't so bad, and that we have the power to make a difference. Last Easter, I spent my sponsor family in India some extra money. The mother responded, because Tenzing is still very young, and she told me what she bought in the letter. She then touched me by telling me that she used some of the money to make a donation to her church in my name. This generous act humbled me because I knew how much her family needed the money. It showed me that despite the difficulties in her life, she was thankful, and most importantly, she had God in her life. I know that many of you are making a difference on a daily basis. I know that many of you seek out challenges and are making a difference in the community. It's inspiring to me to see people and to hear stories about others making a difference. I was inspired by the youth group's commitment to sponsor a child many years ago. This inspired me to begin sponsoring Tenzing in India, where there was the greatest need at that time. In closing, I hope you hear something today that inspires you to sponsor a child, just as my dad and the youth group has inspired me. It's just one way that will help your life circle to get bigger. I promise you that not only will you help to change someone's life, you too will have your life changed. And perhaps your generosity will in turn yet inspire another person to improve the world around us. Thank you.